I will be welcoming Viva from the International Migrants Alliance, a global alliance of organizations of grassroots migrants, refugees, and displaced people. Welcome to the stage, Viva!
I asked someone if it was bad if I asked all of us to say "fuck Trump" right now. That's all right. You know what? Okay, 3, 2, 1. That's a speech. I'm kidding. But hi everyone. Good evening. My name is Viva. I am a member of the International Migrants Alliance Country Coordinating Committee, so organizing for the rights and welfare of migrants here in Southern California, but all across the US and all the way even back to our homelands. I want to start my speech tonight, didn't want to start it with saying fuck Donald Trump, but I actually wanted to start it with us having a moment of silence. From 2016, from decades before, throughout those years, this moment of silence is dedicated to all those who are detained, to all those who died trying to cross the border, to all those who were killed by the police here in Los Angeles. I want to give a moment of silence for all millions and millions of migrants who woke up in fear and anxiety this morning. Before going to this action, I went to Home Depot to buy some lights and, buy some stuff for the action. And I couldn't help thinking, with every person I passed by, did they have to talk to their families about the situation today? Did they cry in the morning? Were they scared to go outside? They probably were. And this is a situation that both the Republican and Democratic Party has put our people under. I think about all of the younger organizers who said, I was in high school when Trump was first elected in 2016. But then I think about the little kids of migrant families with parents who are undocumented, who may be undocumented themselves, who were born after that time. What do you think their parents can say to them? I'm almost at a loss for words because I don't think I can single-handedly express all of the fear, all of the anxiety, all of the worries, all of the baggages, all of the migrants in the US face today. Do you guys know how long it took Trump to start scapegoating migrants after he said his speech yesterday? He said, oh, we have a broken, I'm not as good as impersonations, but he said that we have a country that needs to heal. And then the sentence after that, he said, we're gonna fix our borders. 60 seconds! Not 1 minute did he take into being the president! Not 1 minute before he started attacking migrants again! If that's what our experience is 1 minute into this presidency, imagine the fight we have to wage in the next 4 years. I was anxious all day yesterday. I was sleeping with my shoulders up to my ears. I was restless. Everyone I ran into, I asked them, how are you feeling? Just so I can also share that I was scared and that I was anxious. And what other comrades and other speakers here have said today, we are at 370, almost 400 here today, but there are millions. There are thousands of migrants from our neighborhoods who couldn't feel like they can come out to something like this tonight, who don't feel safe even going to the store, who wouldn't feel safe going to work because of their status. Not just because of their status, because of this president, because of the policies of this country. Donald Trump and the far-right wingers, the conservatives and the Republican, they preyed. They preyed on the desperation and the despair of the everyday American people. Because what did he talk about throughout his whole campaign? He was saying, I'm going to lower the prices of goods. I'm going to end the war. There was no war under my presidency. Those are the things that everyday people were concerned about, and they took advantage of that. Their promises to heal this country, they're not promises to us. Those promises are for big businesses who supported his whole campaign. They're scapegoating migrants. They're blaming the failing economy here in the US on the very existence of migrants in this country. But do they even know? Do people even know what these refugees and migrants and asylum seekers face every day the moment they cross that border? Here in Los Angeles, buses of migrants they take buses of migrants from the border to here, from here to Chicago, to Washington, to all of these different cities across the US. And they're being blamed. These migrants, these refugees, these asylum seekers are being blamed for taking all the resources of this country that should be going to the hardworking people of America. I don't doubt that the American people are hardworking. I'm sure they are. It's not enough, right? It's not enough to just work hard. But when these refugees are taken on these buses and dropped off to a city where they don't know anyone, they don't have anything but the clothes on their back, their children in tow, you know what conditions they face? They have to sleep in tents in freezing weather on the muddy floor. They have to sleep in rat-infested gyms. With no health care, with no one there to help them translate what they're saying, because they're speaking other languages, right? They're coming from all these different countries. So they can't even communicate what's going on to them, to the very people who are shipping them to these random cities that they don't know. You know how heartbreaking it must be. There are people here who have been waging the campaign to free Ligaya, to wage campaigns to close the number of detention centers here in Southern California. These migrants have developed lumps and lesions, and their teeth are rotting, and their hair are falling out of their heads because of the malnutrition, because of the poisonous chemicals that they use to clean these detention centers. And they're the ones to blame. But the thing is, at every turn, these migrants, they don't give up because everything is at stake for them. Everything is at stake for us. They came here because they were fleeing from already poverty, right? They were fleeing from poverty that an unstable economy brought, politically unstable, violent countries that the US meddled in. They're fleeing those things, hoping for a better life, and they're still met with these conditions. So when we say, we're gonna heal this country, I think that's been one of the favorite quotes tonight. We're gonna heal this country. The illness don't lie in the migrant population here. Those shortcomings don't come from us. If anything, migrants contribute so much to this country, to the culture, to the community, to the economy, to everything. But we have 4 years and beyond of fighting against these far-right fascists. And the next time we're here, we need people. We have a big task at hand. It's so massive, y'all. There's 370 people here. How many migrants are in Southern California? Who knows the statistics? A lot. A lot. And a lot of these people are scared, or a lot of these people are misinformed. A lot of these people are like led astray by their own desperation for change. The everyday American people were hungry for change because it just kept getting worse, and it just kept getting worse. And then they started bombing people in Palestine, and it kept getting worse. And people wanted change. But we can't let Project 2025, we can't let whatever change they're putting on the table be the only change that people think is possible. Because genuine change comes from our communities. Genuine change comes from even the smallest form of action, of courage that people can take to stand up for themselves. Each and every day. We have to go out to our communities. We have to talk to those people in the drive-thrus. We have to talk to our neighbors who are walking the dogs. We have to talk to our moms, even if it's hard to talk about politics with our families, especially if they're migrants, right? They're trying to make it in this country. And we have to be patient. And we have to, with every fiber of our existence, let people know that it is there, it is for their interests, it is for their jobs, it is for their health, it is for their homes and housing, it is for people's lives that we're doing this for. We're not doing this just to be loud, or just to be edgy, or just to be counterculture. We're fighting for lives. And again, right now, the lives and the very existence of migrants are under attack. Again. So we have to be diligent in giving our communities the tools to self-organize. We have to be diligent in listening. We have to be diligent in figuring out what is the step. If there's no step, then we're just not asking, we're not thinking the right one. There's always a next step. There's always something that people would be willing to change. We just have to break it down and figure out what that is. And that's the type of patience we need to have, because we have to organize the migrant community here in Southern California. We have the border right there. We have detention centers here. We have so many pockets of communities and neighborhoods here that are filled filled with migrant communities and undocumented families. We have homeless encampments with migrants here. We have to organize migrants, y'all. We have to organize refugees. And with that, we have to be so, in the words in Tagalog, kailangan nating maging mapagkumbaba, right? We have to be humble. We have to approach the work with humility. We have to approach the work with the fact that some people may have supported Trump, but they're still very affected by this and actually getting hit the worst by these things, right? And we have to build our people's movement. But our fight don't just stop here in Southern California. It doesn't just stop here in Los Angeles. These migrants are running away from problems back home. People are running away from poverty. People are running away from unemployment. People are running away from gangs. People are running away from their own governments, fascist militaries, repression. So we also have to help people realize that the solution won't just happen in America. The solution also needs to happen in people's home countries. People need to wage their own national liberation movements and win them. People need to get the U.S. out of their country so that they can build an economy, they can build a society that actually serves their interests, so they're not forced to move overseas, to be separated from their families, to die at the border, to rot in detention centers, and to be scared in these very streets. And you don't have to be a migrant to organize the migrant community. You don't have to be a refugee to organize the refugee community. We have to be in solidarity now more than ever. I forgot how it was going to end. I think I'm over time. But with the International Migrants Alliance, what we've been doing in build up to this election, because we knew that Harris wasn't gonna be defending us, we knew that Trump wasn't gonna do it. They've been bagging on migrants from day one. We've collected the different issues of migrants across the country, and we've synthesized it into 4 main points. What do migrants want in this country? They want livelihood. They want the rights to livelihood, housing, and health. Migrants want legalization so that they can stop feeling anxious in this country and actually have protection when they work and not have to work under the table jobs where they're exploited, where their paychecks are constantly cut, or they have no one protecting them. Migrants want an end to the repression and the racism and the xenophobic rhetoric that's being slammed towards us every single day. And ultimately, what migrants in this country want is an end to forced migration. We want the conditions back home to be livable, to be genuinely free, genuinely democratic, so we don't have to move here. We don't have to face Trump. So in this period, I hope that if your organization is taking up campaigns supporting the rights and welfare of migrants, if your organization is organizing amongst migrants communities, join IMA, join the International Migrants Alliance so that we can share our lessons. We can share this lakas ng loob, or we can share this courage that comes just from an individual and spreads like wildfire among our community. So I'm gonna end with, I'm gonna say, rise up, rise up, rise up, and then you're gonna say, rise up, all migrants rise up. Yeah? Rise up, rise up, rise up, rise up, all migrants rise up, rise up, rise up, rise up, rise up, all migrants rise up, and rise up, rise up, rise up, rise up, all migrants rise up. Thank you.
Thank you again to Viva of the International Migrants Alliance for sharing that very important speech. I wanted to also share with you context that I don't know if everyone here knew, but ICE, the ICE office, is actually in this building. And that is also like Viva mentioned, we do not have to be a migrant to organize migrant workers, to link with them, and to bring them into struggle, in their struggle for jobs, for health, and for housing. And that's one of the reasons why the call to action that we have been reiterating the entire time, every speaker, is to join not only a people's organization, but to get involved in the people's struggle, to build their struggle. That's why we heard from organizations of migrant workers that are organizing each other to understand what the root of the problem is, why they're getting evicted, why they're struggling in their jobs, and to fight back against it together. So as we move on to the last two components of our program, want to do a little chanting, and then we're going to introduce someone who's going to lead us through a cultural.
If you don't know this chant, I know folks are probably a little tired, but this chant needs a lot of energy. So when I say, what's stronger than a fascist, you say, the power of the masses. Got it? Because it's true. What's stronger than a fascist? The power of the masses. What's stronger than a fascist? The power of the masses. What's stronger than a fascist? The power of the masses. What's stronger than a fascist? The power of the masses. Y'all got it.